What's up, guys? It's Bye here, and welcome to another Junction's Impact videos. Today, we are going to look into elemental mastery together. If you are interested in to know more about these stats right here, this video is for you. At the end of the videos, I will tell you if you should work on this stat or not. So, what is elemental mastery? Elemental mastery, the higher a character elemental mastery, the stronger the elemental energies that can be released. Increased damage caused by vaporize and melt by 0%. Also increased damage caused by overloaded superconduct or electrocharge shadow swirl by 0%. Increased elemental damage absorption power of shield caused to crystallize by 0% here. It is because I have a no elemental mastery on these characters. But what if I go to a different character here? Uh, so for barbers, I have a 13 elemental mastery here and the description change. So for barbers, increased damage caused by vaporize and melt by 2.5%. Also increased damage caused by overloaded superconduct electrocharge shatter and swirl by 5.9%. Increase the damage absorption power shield to crystallize by 4%. So there seems to be quite a lot of confusion around these stats right here. A lot of people think elemental mastery can actually increase your skill damage. So if you look at some of your character talents, a lot of people think that like elemental mastery can increase your second or burst skill damage because they do elemental damage. So you think, okay, so elemental mastery, it's gonna work on like elemental skill, right? So a lot of people think that elemental mastery just gonna increase your skill damage, but that is incorrect. Um, that it doesn't increase your skill damage. My testing later will prove this. Elemental mastery only increase the damage caused by elemental reaction. So elemental reaction only. So what is elemental reaction? When you have two elements interact with each other, that when you create an elemental reaction. I will show you guys what I mean in my testing videos. Uh, so it is pretty much exactly what it say in the description here. It doesn't say that elemental mastery going to increase your skill damage. So let's go to some of the testing that I've pre-recorded before. Like for the test, like I had to pre-record it because we're going to have to replay the test in slow motion, and sometime I might have to pause this to explain to you guys some of the stuff in the videos. So let's go right into it here. So let's go to my first video here. We'll go to this one. So here I am using Jin for testing here. So I have a 31 elemental mastery. I am using two artifacts that gives additional elemental mastery here. As you can see, I am just checking on my artifact here to make sure that my testing is correct. So my attack is 226 and my elemental mastery is 31. And let's see how much damage I can deal here. So I think I'm going to switch to Barber very soon here, so that I can use healing, that I can apply wet to the target here. All right, so here you goes. I had to pause the video here. So what is elemental reaction? Let's go here. Let's go back a little bit here. Okay, first of all, what is its icon? What is its icon here? It's a hydro debuff. So it's telling you that the target is currently being debuffed by hydro there. So if you're using another elemental skill, you're going to create an elemental reaction. So because the target is currently being debuffed by hydro, I am going to use a skill right now on the buff, which is my wind skill. So I'm going to have a wind elemental attacking on the target that being debuffed by water here. And what it does is it causing an elemental reaction. One second here. All right. So, oops. Wrong one. Down here a little bit more here. Okay. So that is the icon for elemental reaction there. There you can see there is an animal icon plus an hydro icon there. So when animal and hydro interact with each other, it creates a swirling effect. So you can see there is a text down here saying swirl right here. Oops, swirl here. And in this screen right here, there are a couple of things you need to pay attention to. So first one is the number 248. So 248 is your skill damage. This skill damage does not get affected by your elemental mastery. So 248 is your normal skill damage. It is based off your attack, and it doesn't like depend on your elemental mastery at all. And below you can see there is another number right here, so 144. So 144 is elemental reaction damage. In this case, it's a swirl damage. So because I have a water and animals interact together, I am creating. I was able to produce an additional damage, which is swirl, and it is 144 damage on top of my skill damage. So instead of me just cast, instead of my skill damage only doing 248 skill damage only, in this case I am doing 248 plus 144 damage because I was able to create that elemental reaction there. So that damage 144 is depend on your elemental mastery here. So let's go and keep watching on the video again here. We're gonna see it happen a couple more times here. So trying to apply wet on the target again there, and you can see the sword damage. Like the damage is consistent. Like the damage is not fluctuate. So you always going to do the same damage to the target. So unlike some other game where you have an attack range, so it can be ranged from like the lowest to the highest. In Genshin Impact, your damage is consistent, like is a constant. So you don't see like you doing damage from like 200 to like 300 there. So here I'm trying to apply the wet again here. That did not work, so there was no elemental reaction there. But I think this one got, so this one I have an elemental reaction again, swirl damage 144. So now I am going to go away and I'm going to try to change up my setup so that I do not have any more elemental mastery here to see how much does it affect. So I'm going here. Look like the the enemy is still attacking me there. So I don't think I'll be able to change my artifact here. So I am trying to change my artifact so that I don't have any more elemental mastery, but my attack remains the same here. Let's go here. Okay, so in here I am going to change my artifact. So I'm switching out my flower here with a different flowers with energy recharge instead. So I cut down on my elemental mastery there, and I am also switching out this feather here, which have no elemental mastery at all. So as of right now, I have a 0 elemental mastery compared to what I had before, which is 30 something. So now I'm going to go back to fight the same target again, and I'm going to show you guys. Come closer here. So here I'm just casting a whole bunch of a normal skill damage. Um, so there is no elemental reaction here. Again, you can see that number. I am still doing 248 skill damage without any elemental mastery there. So it does not affect your skill damage there. So that was what I tested. So here I'm casting my water here. And let's pause the video here. All right, there you go. So here's previously I have a 30 something elemental mastery and I was able to do 140 something elemental reaction swirl damages. But on this case, after I remove my artifact, so they do not have elemental mastery anymore, I am only doing 126 damage right now. So you can see right here. So 248 is my normal skill damage. 126 is the damage I generate from the elemental reaction. So your elemental mastery affecting the damage that generate from the elemental reaction only, and it doesn't affect your skill damage. So let's go and finish the video here so that you guys can see. Trying to apply the debuff on the same target again. Again, it's going animal and water there, which is causing a swirl effect. And you can see that the damage is very consistent, the same. There is no, it not fluctuate comparing to like some other games where the damage can like fluctuate from like highest to low. It's there. You always getting the same damage here. Trying another skill here, 248 and 126 swirl damage there. Again, so that is the skill damage there. So that is what I did for testing the elemental mastery. Just to confirm that, like originally I thought that like elemental mastery can actually increase my skill damage. So after the testing, um, so after the testing that I done, who should focus on like working on elemental mastery? So like if your main DPS normal attack can apply like elemental debuff on the enemies, then you should focus on like elemental mastery. So for example here, if you look at some of my character here, Lisa, Lisa normal attack can deal electro damage. Because her normal attack deal electro damage, she can apply electro debuff on any target that she hit with her normal attack here. Or Barber, a Barber normal attack also dealing hydro damage. So her normal attack can apply the hydro debuff on any of the targets that she hit. So it is good for the kind of like character to have a high elemental mastery because they can apply the debuff on the target frequently and they can consistently produce that like elemental reaction damage. So for example here, if I'm playing Lisa, I can just switch to Barber here, do a normal attack so that the target got wet, and then I can create electro charge damage. You can see there, my Lisa is too weak, so I wasn't able to kill the boss there, the target there. But you get the idea. Like only characters that can consistently produce the elemental reaction damage, that those are type of characters you should focus working on elemental mastery. For example, if my main character is Jin, like her normal attack doesn't do any sort of like elemental debuff at all. So it's really not a good reason for me to like focus on like elemental mastery on my Jin here. But like if some of the other characters that have a base normal attack that can deal like elemental damage, you should definitely try to work on your elemental mastery comparing to some of other characters. for me, like elemental mastery would be the last thing I want to get on any of my equipment, because like all of my layup are mostly physical damage, and like we do skill damage sometimes, but not very frequently, and I don't think it is worth it to focus on like working on the stat for elemental mastery. It's better for a physical character focus on like increase more damage, increase more attack, or increase more critical rate. Um, so I hope these videos explain to you guys what elemental mastery is, and maybe you can like decide on like who you should be like working on elemental mastery, and hopefully can like improve your characters in the futures. Thanks for watching the video, guys.